Hello you guys, I just wanted to have a little video for you where we talk about the gear, how it works, how to set it up. I've been getting lots of questions on how to make sure they're working, how to make sure they're on the right station. So I just want to walk you through the actual flash gear itself if you're not super comfortable and familiar with flashes in general, right? So if you are really comfortable with your flashes and gear, feel free to skip over this section, but this is really for you if you're newer to flash and artificial lighting. I just want to walk you through the flashes, teach you exactly how to set it up, all of that good stuff. So let's start with our Neewer TT560. And if you are just making your way through the course, this is the most basic level of flash possible. So it's great if you're just starting, you want something super user-friendly, easy, cheap, all of that good stuff. So the pros of this lens are that they literally couldn't be simpler. You just click up and down to change the settings. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's so easy. They take AA batteries. I buy rechargeable ones because you're going to go through a lot, which leads me into the cons. The recycle time on these are a lot longer, and recycle time basically means every time the flash fires, how long it takes to recharge before it'll fire again. So these go through batteries like it's their job. You need to have a lot on hand, which is why if you can afford it, I suggest these, which are the Godox V860. And these are a little bit more intense and a little bit more of an official flash, right? These little guys are like $30. These are more like $200. However, if you are serious about photography, just go straight to these, okay? Like I still have a bunch of these that I use as a backup, right? In case something was to happen to these. I always have like 6 flashes, I swear, on a wedding day. But these are way more nice and official. Recycle time is less, they're more reliable, all of that good stuff. So if you turn these on, you can change the settings with this little toggle right here. So let's make sure you can see that. So the higher the number, or like smaller the fraction, I guess technically, the less powerful the light is. And if you move it clockwise all the way down, 1/4 is the highest setting. So the lower number, the bigger fraction, right? So that means the flash is more powerful. It's gonna give off a more extreme light. So this is recycle time, right? We want to be able to flash it a lot over and over again. The higher the flash power is, the longer the recycle time is going to be, or the quicker the battery is going to die. So this flash is the way to go, okay? So this flash is the one that you want to go with if you are looking for something a little bit more serious. I like shooting it in manual, so you'll click this mode button until you get to the M right there, and that is how I like to shoot it because then I control everything. As we've kind of talked about, if you want to do shutter drag photos, a great trick is it can actually sense what focal length you're shooting on, and if you turn it all the way up to 200, it's going to condense the light. So instead of, let's focus on me right here. So when you're shooting at 24mm, the light's gonna go really wide, right? Because you're on a wide lens. But if I was shooting on a 200mm, it's gonna condense the light and make it come out in a really, like, think of it almost like a tube or a tunnel coming out. But that means when you're doing shutter drag photos, it's really fun because it only highlights like their face or their upper body and everything else is black. So that's a great trick with this lens, or this flash as well. So let's move into now the triggers and receivers, transmitters and receivers. So if you are having trouble with getting these to work, you are going to set it like this and then slide your flash on. Make sure that you have fresh batteries in here. You'll turn it on and you want the radio station to be on the same station as your receiver. So right now I have like 3 up on both of these, right? And so then this guy is going to go on the hot shoe on my camera and then it's going to trigger them. So let's turn this on here. I'm pretty sure these all have batteries. See, so now we can stand on the other side of the room and shut that off. So if it's not working, if you need help troubleshooting the things that you're working with, make sure batteries are fresh, make sure that the flash is going on the back side. So the long part is up front. It's a common issue that I see a lot of people run into where they're just not sure how to slide it on. That's how you're gonna wanna slide it on, then put it on your tripod. So if you are shooting just one off-camera flash, you're gonna wanna make sure that these are on the same radio station. However, if you're wanting to shoot something like toasts, what I'll usually do is have one camera right here, let's say with a 24mm on, one camera over here with a 200mm on, so that I can get, you know, guest reactions and the couple up front while standing at the back of the room. I'll put the flash that's up by the couple and this receiver on one radio station and the camera on this side on another radio station. So it's not triggering both flashes at once, it's triggering only the one I need. So that is another amazing thing with artificial light and off-camera flash, is that you can trigger certain areas throughout the room to get one specific flash to go off. If you don't shoot with multiple cameras too, you could just make sure to quickly change the station on this guy to match whichever flash you're doing. But obviously that's a little riskier. It's nicer if you can have two cameras that are just automatically set up to their associated flash. So that is the gear. That is how you use it. It's nice, simple, and sweet. So I can't wait for you to dive in.